Episode 4 of Memory of a Killer starts with Angelo coercing Wesley to call the man he sold the bullets to. When the guy shows up, Angelo eventually ties him to a chair and asks questions about the ferryman. This guy, Herc, refuses to make any revelations about him. Now Herc asks Angelo to kill him, as the ferryman can kill not only him but his family too. Angelo obliges and turns his attention to Wesley. It's here he mentions a power plant. The next morning, Angelo goes to Maria's house where he notices tension between her and Jeff. Now Angelo lies to Maria, claiming to have an issue with his phone to explain the call from the night before. He tries to check up on his daughter, but Maria lies that she's listening to a podcast to help process her trauma. Now later that day, Maria shows up at the shooting arena where she meets Dave and talks to him about her mental health. She's suffering a lot and wants him to teach her to defend herself. She doesn't think Angelo and Jeff will understand what she's actually going through. Dave gets a call from the police station here about the shooter who attacked her not long after, so he takes Maria to the police station with him. At the same time, Joe and Angelo are discussing their next victim, an arms dealer named Catherine Morton. Joe gives Angelo a breakdown of Catherine's line of work, as well as the details of her meetings. Angelo focuses on killing Catherine when she's at her spa session before an arms deal. Just then, Angelo reads a message on Herc's phone that he picked up before killing him. The message itself is coded and Angelo can't understand it. For now though, the two make their way to the spa room when Angelo asks Joe about the power plant. Joe reveals that the plant is located on Willow Road, the same place mentioned on Herc's phone. Angelo calls off the hit and warns Joe about questioning him. Now Angelo ends up at the power plant looking for the person Herc was working for. He kills 2 of the 3 goons pretty quickly and attacks the third, named Leo. Now Leo falls and hits his head on a rock and he starts bleeding out. Angelo demands to know who ordered a hit on his family. Before dying, Leo reveals that the ferryman was after Angelo due to a personal grudge. Now Angelo picks up the files that Leo and his men had with them and is shocked to see that the men have recent pictures of Maria, Jeff and Michael. It indicates that his family are being surveyed by the ferryman. Now that night, Angelo is at his apartment with Nikki and she comments about Angelo's secrecy, and Nikki knows he's hiding his real family from her, but he's quick to point out that this isn't an affair. He also lies that he doesn't have kids. Now Angelo tells Nikki that his wife passed away and the two end up in bed together. I mean, whatever turns you on, I guess. Now at the police station, Dave tells Maria that the man who shot her, Henry Block, was found dead in the river. The FBI was already looking into Henry before this happened, prompting Maria to wonder if Henry was actually murdered. She tries to press for more, but Dave dismisses her. The next morning, Angelo visits Michael at the nursing home and asks Michael's doctor to reach out if someone comes looking for him. Now Maria heads to the river where Henry Block's dead body was discovered. She finds a shoe there and calls Dave to tell him. Now she thinks Henry fell off the bridge and asks Dave to check it out. Dave's superiors give him an earful about Maria's involvement in the investigation, and he asks Maria to go back home as the cops investigate the case. The next day, Joe is upset with Angelo for bailing on him. Angelo shoots the men who are going to meet the arms dealer Catherine. He then poses as the customer purchasing the weapons from her instead and tries to get her to sign the deal. Now Catherine attempts to flee when Angelo threatens to attack her, but it's no good. Angelo kills her and Catherine's bodyguards. Next, Angelo asks Joe to hack into Herc's phone and get information out of it. Now at their house, Jeff tells Maria that he's worried about her. He breaks down in tears and asks Maria to try taking therapy. He also suggests moving away to a different state too, which upsets Maria. Now Angelo shows up here and tells Maria that Jeff discussed the move with him too, suggesting that it would be a good idea. Now Maria believes they are actually safest in Hudson Springs and that they can equip and train themselves to fight back. She refuses to flee and be afraid, which makes Angelo see just how strong she actually is. Angelo is about to leave before he mentions to Jeff about setting up the crib. Jeff is surprised, reminding Angelo that he's actually already set it up and he did so the last time he was over. Reeling from this, Angelo goes back to his apartment and calls Jane, Michael's doctor, about treatments for Alzheimer's. Jane mentions some clinical trials, but Angelo doesn't mention anything about his own memory loss. He offers to join Michael during his musical therapy sessions instead. And the FBI end up at the power plant here, where they find the 3 dead bodies Angelo left behind. Linda believes the 3 bodies have been staged to look like they killed each other. She adds that there's one person behind all 3 murders and believes they set the scene to tamper with the investigation. That night, Dave tells his senior that Henry was murdered according to the blood found on the bridge. Joe shows up at Angelo's apartment with Leo's phone and the two men talk, sharing a drink. The episode ends with Angelo calling one of the numbers on Leo's phone, and he's shocked to hear none other than Nikki on the other end of the line. Now, Maria's character is incredibly irritating in this episode, and I was annoyed with her argument of wanting to stay in a place where the lives of her and her loved ones, not to mention her unborn child, are actually in danger. Instead of taking Jeff's advice and moving away, Maria wants to learn to use a gun to protect herself. Sure, it's admirable, but she's also endangering herself a lot as well. Not only that, but being an elementary school teacher herself, and considering the effect that gun violence has on young students in schools, she thinks that by learning how to use a gun, she's going to be able to defend herself from the shooters attacking her or the students that she teaches in school. Of course, as I said, the idea is inspiring, but it's also realistically impossible to predict if Maria will even have the time to protect anyone in case she's attacked again. While most of this episode is pretty mediocre, the chapter does end with a shocking revelation of Nikki being involved with Leo, the man who works for the ferryman. Now, I wonder if she is the ferryman, or if this is just another red herring, and seeing how Angelo's memory is worsening, it could be that she is the ferryman, but Angelo forgets that she is, and how she's connected to Leo. For now though, everything is set up in an interesting way, and hopefully we get some answers in the episodes ahead.